Hey there, Mindy. It's been a while, huh? Wait, is this Lily? Really? That's right! I don't think I've seen you since I gave birth. How have you been? Everything going well? Yes, I'm doing pretty well, thank you. I'm sorry, I know it must be pretty weird to be hearing from me like this. It's not often that your brother's ex-wife just texts you out of the blue. No, that's not it. It's just, well, my brother said that he hasn't been able to get a hold of you in some time. I'm just a bit surprised is all. Yeah, well, I've been kind of busy. But don't worry, I always take a minute to text him back if it's something important. I'm sure you've been hearing this from my brother, but he's been desperate to see your daughter. He's been making his child support payments on time every month, hasn't he? Could you please let the two of them have some time together? Hey, I've been trying to do that for a while. It's just that the timing is never right. You know how life goes. Plus, I have my own job too, so yeah, it's kind of hard to find time. I understand that you have your work to take care of, but my brother hasn't been able to see his own daughter for 3 years. You have to understand how painful that is for him. And Mina's about to start school, isn't she? I'm asking you this as one woman to another. Please let my brother see his daughter. He has a right to see Mina, and Mina has the right to see him. Yeah, I get it. I'll try to set up a meeting sometime in the next few weeks. Please do. So, if you don't mind me asking, what on earth are you texting me for? I'm curious as to why you're contacting me instead of my brother when he's the one who you really should be talking to. I was going through my old contacts and I found your name. And, I got kind of curious. I was kind of wondering how your brother was doing these days. If you want to know that, why don't you ask him directly? Oh, come on. He's my ex-husband. I don't want to have to deal with talking to him. So, how's he doing? I guess he's doing all right. His career is advancing pretty smoothly. Is he still working at the same company? Yes, the same one. Although he's been out of the country on business since last month, so he's not in town right now. Whoa, he's out of the country? Jeez, you weren't kidding. He must be doing pretty well for himself. Man, I wish I could get the chance to travel to another country. Well, it's for business, not pleasure. So when's he coming back to town? Next month, I think. I see. Next month, huh? Okay, I guess I'll arrange for him to see his daughter after he gets back from his little vacation. I would really appreciate that. It would make my brother happier than you could imagine. And what about you, Mindy? How have you been? You get yourself a boyfriend yet? No, I'm single. Aw, really? Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. It must be tough to be alone in your 30s. So, do you spend all your days off by yourself? Yeah, generally. It's been way too hot lately to go outside, so I've been staying indoors whenever possible. I know, right? What is with this heat? I can barely stand stepping away from the air conditioner these days. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I've got to go get Mina ready for school. That's okay, I understand. Again, I would really appreciate you making sure Mina gets to see my brother regularly. Hi, Mindy, it's me again. So, did you get my present? Huh? Present? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm talking about Mina. Are you telling me that the child who I found sitting on my doorstep just now is Mina? Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! You really didn't notice? I did have my suspicions, but how was I supposed to know for sure? The last time I saw her, she was a newborn. You let her into your house, though, right? Lily, it's almost 100 degrees outside right now. What were you thinking abandoning such a young child in the brutal heat like that? What's the problem? Today's your day off, isn't it? You shouldn't have any trouble with looking after her for a day. I've been out of the house since this morning. I only just got back a few moments ago. Oh, really? My bad. My bad? Is that all you have to say for yourself? When did you drop her off? How long has she been sitting out there? She was sweating like crazy when I found her. She was barely conscious. It's no big deal. She's only been out there for about 2 hours or so. Just give her some cold juice or something. She'll be fine. Oh my God, you left a 3-year-old child on their own in the heat for 2 hours? Do you have any idea how dangerous that was? Seriously, what's the big deal? She plays outside that long all the time. Kids are a lot tougher than adults think. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anyways, thanks for taking care of Mina for me today. Make sure to feed her occasionally. You need to contact my brother right now. Oh, he's been wanting to see Mina for ages. How am I supposed to do that? He's out of the country, right? I contacted him about child support a while back, and he said that he wouldn't be around this time of year. So I figured I could hand her off to you for the day. Of course, I'd be glad to look after her whenever I can. But you need to give me advance notice, at least a few days. It's not like you don't have my phone number. Why didn't you call me? I thought it would be a really fun surprise for you. I guess you weren't in the mood for a surprise, huh? If I hadn't come home just now, Mina would have been on her own all day in the heat on my porch, Lily. Think of what could have happened to her. She could have been kidnapped. Yeah, that's why I'm texting you right now. Man, you're just like your brother, you know that? Always being picky about the smallest things. That must be a product of your home environment, I guess. I'm pretty confident that not leaving a child alone for 2 hours outside is common sense to any home environment. What's worse, taking her to your house or leaving her at home alone all day? I went out of my way to put her into the hands of a trusted family member. I'd say I acted more than responsibly. It's not like I just abandoned her in the middle of the woods. Seriously, I'm over here doing my best to take care of my daughter, and you're criticizing me for that? Sheesh. Is that really how you see what happened today? Oh, and one more thing. How did you know where my house was? I only moved in here a few months ago after my company transferred me to this area. That's a funny story, actually. So I just happened to see you going into your house a while back. It was a total coincidence. Small world, huh? I take it that you two live in this area too, then? I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. I don't want you to go blabbing to your brother about where we are. It would cause me a world of trouble. Yeah? How so? I have my reasons. If Mina hasn't eaten lunch yet, she likes hot dogs. You can go out and buy some if you don't have any on hand. Lily, it's past the time you said you would come and pick up Mina. When are you going to come and get her? Oh man, is it really that time already? Yes, it is! Don't tell me you forgot. No, it's not like that at all. Hey, I hate to ask you to do this, but would you mind taking care of her for just a bit longer? Like, say, about 3 days or so? What? You said that you were going to come and pick her up this evening. Sorry, but my hands are full at the moment. I can't go anywhere just yet. That's your problem, not mine. This is all way too sudden. I have to work tomorrow too, you know. Please, Mindy, you gotta help me out. I don't have anyone else I can turn to. My parents told me they never want to see my face again. Okay, but what about me? I don't have anyone around here who can look after Mina for me while I'm at work either. Don't you have any paid time off? Seems like a pretty simple solution to me. I've already used Mina getting a cold as an excuse way too many times. My company won't believe me. Plus, I used up all my paid leave. Unbelievable. Fine. But you need to tell me the name and address of your company. Why? For emergencies, I need to be able to contact you. Nah, don't worry about a thing. I'll pick her up this time, I promise. Plus, if I tell you where I work, you might tell your brother, which I need to avoid at all costs. I can't have my ex knowing where I live or work. You don't think of anyone but yourself, do you? It's a defense mechanism. I have to be selfish, otherwise I'd never be able to make it as a single mother. So we're good, right? Hey, Mina's been looking and feeling pretty unwell for a while now. I was hoping to take her over to the hospital to have them check on her. She gets that way all the time. It's nothing to be concerned about. Just put her to bed. She'll feel better in the morning. I can't do that. I'm really concerned about her, so I'm gonna take her to the doctor. Be my guest if you're that inclined, but the doctor's bill is coming out of your pocket. Got it? I got it. Does she have any allergies or pre-existing conditions I should know about? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not, huh? Need anything else? Can I go now? Tell Mina Mommy told her to be a good girl for Aunt Mindy. Sorry I haven't been able to answer my phone, Mindy. Did you need something? I have been trying to get a hold of you forever. Didn't you even read any of my messages? I took Mina to the hospital last night. Yeah, I wasn't feeling so hot last night either. I fell asleep right after I put down my phone. That's why I didn't see your texts. I see. How's Mina doing? You said they kept her overnight? That's right. When I took her to the hospital last night, they said they wanted to keep her overnight for observation. They said it would be unsafe to let her leave without doing a few more tests. Wow, they're really making a big deal out of nothing. Seriously, she's just tired from the heat, that's all. I'll pick her up in a few days after she's gotten better. I'll be sure to get plenty of rest in the meantime. You're too late. Huh? You don't need to come pick her up ever. You're never going to see Mina again. What are you talking about? What's going on? What happened to Mina? Are you really going to pretend like you don't know? Think about the current situation. You left Mina on my doorstep without letting me know in advance, or even checking if I was home. After that, you then told me that you need me to watch her for another 3 days. And even though Mina is sick and in the hospital, you haven't even come down to see her. What is the matter with you? I told you, I'm busy with work. Are you really working right now, Lily? From what my brother tells me, you're hopping from one seedy nightclub to the next. Hey, how does he know about that? I told you that he was desperate to see Mina, didn't I? Well, apparently he's been digging into you. But every time he managed to track you down, you had already quit your job and moved. Eventually, he reached the end of your trail of breadcrumbs and couldn't find you again. Don't you dare belittle me for how I choose to make money. It's work, okay? Real work, and I work very hard. What's wrong with working hard to support my daughter? So what if I move around a lot? As long as Mina's doing fine, I don't see any problem with my work situation. Oh, trust me, I am well aware that you do a lot of moving in your occupation. Horizontally, that is. But the biggest problem here isn't actually your job, it's you. Oh yeah, and just what's the problem with me, huh? The problem is that regardless of what you consider to be work, you're hardly doing it at all. You're just living off my brother's child support payments to you. Mina says that you aren't sending her to any daycare program and that you just leave her at home while you're at work. And there are some days when you don't even come home at all. Are you really sure that Mina's doing as fine as you claim she is? Oh, come on, are you really gonna believe what a 3-year-old tells you? If she told you that she was a magical fairy princess or something, would you believe that? The doctors at the hospital also told me that Mina was slightly malnourished. And they also said that she is well below the average height and weight for her age. Her being malnourished was what made her get so much worse when you abandoned her in the blistering heat for hours on end yesterday. She's a picky eater. I can never get her to eat anything I make. She's just a naturally sick girl. Mina was scarfing down plate after plate when they brought her meals at the hospital, with a huge smile on her face the whole time. She said that she loved everything. She's probably shy from being surrounded by a bunch of people she doesn't know. You might technically be her aunt, but she's never even really met you until yesterday. I bet she's just too scared to say how she really feels. No, I doubt that's the case. After all, my brother's here with her. What? What's he doing there? I thought you said he was out of the country. He was, but did you forget we're only a few hours away from the border? When I told him about what was going on with Mina yesterday, he just hopped right in his car and drove back here. It didn't take long. But does Mina even remember him? She hasn't even seen him in 3 years. Oh yes, she knows exactly who her father is. She's been clinging to him constantly since he got here last night. So no, she's not lying to us because she's nervous or afraid. Well, what's your brother saying to you? He hasn't said anything to me at all. He's got quite a lot to do at the moment. He's really busy. Plus, it's not like him trying to contact you would have accomplished anything. I was trying to get a hold of you all day yesterday, and you didn't even pick up the phone a single time. I'm coming over there right now. I'm taking Mina home with me. Weren't you saying you weren't feeling well? I think you'd better rest up and recover before you head over here, don't you? Yeah, well, I'm suddenly feeling a lot better now. I can't let your lousy brother take Mina from me. And I'm the one with full custody, so what I say goes. And I say Mina's coming home with me. And I say that your brother is not allowed to see Mina. Do I make myself clear? All of this is happening because you left Mina with me. Or more specifically, you left her on my doorstep. I took her to the hospital as any decent person would, and her father rushed down to the hospital as any decent father would. I think the issue is you just don't understand how decent people think. You think my brother is just like you, which is why you think he's going to try and take her from you. That's not it! I'm afraid he's going to tell her a bunch of lies about me to try and turn her against me. If you had actually treated her like a decent mother would treat her child, then I'm sure that Mina would have been more than happy to go back to living with you. Oh, shut up, would you? Tell me what hospital you're at. Tell me right now. I told you the name of the hospital yesterday. We're at Central Hospital, the one right downtown across from the park. Got it, I'm on my way. I think you should know before you get down here that even if you are allowed into the room to see her, Mina is not going home with you. Fine, I'll take her home once the hospital releases her. No, I believe my brother is the one who's going to take her home. I'm the one with full custody, Mindy. I get it. You want to stick up for your brother. But this is the law I'm talking about. When we got divorced, the judge decided that she would be better off living full-time with her mother. I suppose you'll have to raise that with the Child Protective Services representative currently talking to Mina. What? Child Protective Services? Why are they getting involved? The doctors who looked at Mina thought that there were certain issues with your parenting style. They contacted CPS, and the agent who interviewed Mina seems to agree. Haven't you ever heard of mandatory reporting laws? Doctors have a duty to report parents like you. Why? Does this mean I'm not going to be able to live with Mina anymore? How am I supposed to get by without her? Well, that confirms it. You only ever pursued full custody of Mina so that you could live off my brother's child support payments. That's not what I meant! I meant to say that without her by my side, how am I going to muster up the will to live? Or something like that. I think you should have thought about that before you chose to abandon her in sweltering heat on my doorstep for 2 hours. Not only that, you had every chance in the world to come to the hospital once you heard what happened to her. Or at the very least, you could have actually messaged me back rather than leaving me on red. Mindy, listen! You have no idea how hard it is to raise a daughter all by yourself as a single mother. Between work and childcare, well, something's gotta give. I gotta make compromises somewhere. I'm sure that being a single mother is quite difficult. No doubt you've struggled quite a bit over the last few years. However, my brother has been paying you far more than enough to get by with child support. It was not enough, not at all. That's why Mina got malnourished. It was all his fault. He's been sending you $2,000 a month. If that's somehow not enough to make ends meet, that's your problem, not his. Furthermore, if you were really struggling and wanted to take care of Mina, then you should have talked to my brother about that. I wish I could have done that. I could have avoided all of this. But I was abandoned by both him and my parents. I had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. I had to get by all on my own. Just so we're clear, my brother divorced you and your parents disowned you because you were having an affair. You have no one to blame for any of that but yourself. Please, Mindy, you've got to help me. Tell your brother not to take Mina away from me. Mina is saying that she wants to go live with her father. She says she doesn't want to be alone at her apartment all day anymore. I'm sorry for making her feel lonely. I had no idea she was feeling that way. I've learned my lesson, okay? I'll do better this time around. I'll treat her right. So please, give me back my Mina. You don't have any kids of your own, so I doubt you'd understand this. But being apart from your kids is painful. It's like trying to live without air. Do you actually think Mina would want to go back to live with a woman who leaves her alone at the house for days at a time? Kids are smart, Lily. They understand a lot more than adults think they do. I may not be a mother, so I can't say I know how a mother would feel in your situation, but I was a kid once, so I can say this for certain. I would rather live on the street than be stuck with a selfish, uncaring, deadbeat mom like you. After that, CPS officially determined that Lily was unfit to retain custody of Mina. It seems the reason that she left Mina with me on that fateful day was because she wanted to go see her boyfriend. Her own apartment was something like you would see on one of those hoarder documentary series. So she was spending most of her time at her boyfriend's apartment. She would also just shove Mina outside of the apartment and leave her to run around the area for hours at a time. So her neighbors had been calling CPS on her as well. I bet that's the reason she was moving around so often. Every time she caught wind that CPS was coming to speak to Mina, she would move away. My brother took Lily to court, and full custody of Mina was transferred from Lily to my brother. Additionally, a restraining order was placed on Lily, forbidding her from contacting Mina. I heard that soon after their last court hearing, Lily disappeared again. But my brother is living the dream he's clung to for the last 3 years and enjoying his life with Mina. He moved in with our parents so they can look after her while he's at work. Mina's getting much healthier too. She was nothing but skin and bones when I first met her, but she's filling out very nicely. She's also smiling a lot more than she did back then. It was actually a total coincidence that I moved to this area. But after everything that's happened, I'm super grateful to my company for sending me here. I'm gonna do everything I can to help my brother make sure Mina gets a life that's just as happy as she deserves. And you know what else? All of this has got me thinking, maybe having a kid of my own wouldn't be so bad.